Good afternoon. This is Mark Buckshaw of Construction Marketing Ideas, and I have on video link through Google Hangouts Craig Martin of Lamson, Dugan and Murray law firm in Omaha, Nebraska, and his construction contractor advisor blog was the first place finalist in the this year's Construction Marketing Ideas Best Construction Blog competition. So Craig has graciously consented to an interview. And I'm going to ask him a few questions about how he started the blog and what it has done for his practice. So, Craig, if you want to give yourself your own introduction, you can, and describe what caused you to start blogging.
Sure. I am an attorney in Omaha. We have a regional practice here in the Midwest. I've been working with construction clients for probably the last 15 years. What prompted the start of the construction blog was we were working with a marketing coach, and one of his strong recommendations was you need to establish yourself as an expert in the industry. And aside from doing presentations to groups, I wanted something that was more immediate and frankly could be revisited more often. So it really got me thinking about writing a blog, and it provides me an opportunity to answer clients' questions, but also really dig into issues that I find of interest that I hope that clients or potential clients will find of interest.
Right. Have you assessed the results of the blog, both either in traffic or I guess the most measurable sense would be a business to you and your practice?
I'm not sure I agree with the most measurable. I mean, clearly I can track the visits, and they, depending on the topic, really, they go up and down. But unless a client offers it, I oftentimes don't know that they found me through the blog. What I definitely find is clients out of state find me through the blog. So if they're looking for a construction attorney in Nebraska, I think that it's through their searches on construction liens in Nebraska or Omaha that my blog will then come up at least pretty high in the order.
Well, that would seem to make sense when you think about it, because your local business is going to be more through the relationships and connections you build within your own community, I would think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, and your reputation you have. When someone has a problem, a legal problem, and they're not based in Nebraska, but they have an issue that they need a lawyer in Nebraska, I guess this is where the blog could actually make a connection for you.
Absolutely. Although, I will say that I think that even the local folks that have perhaps heard of me or someone has mentioned my name, I think the majority of my traffic is local. So I think that there is a great value to, well, before I call Craig, I want to vet him a bit through the internet, and then they come across my blog and hopefully are impressed with the breadth of knowledge there.
That's an interesting observation, because this is part of the building of the reputation of yourself. So they may have heard good things about you, but then they start looking, and then they see the blog, and then they start reading, and they start forming an impression, I suppose, and they're getting useful information in the process. What have you? Let me take it another level, though. Have you had feedback from clients or viewers or other things, and what type of feedback have you had?
Well, generally they're nice. They appreciate the information. I will tell you that there aren't very many folks out there that are too vocal about it that are in the industry. I think I'm wondering if a lot of people are looking at it and then they don't say anything about it because am I getting free information here? I wonder if there's a concern about that. I mean, certainly I'm giving it away. There's no question about that. But I wonder if there is a concern there that there is a give and take.
In other words, they read your blog, but they don't respond to you because that would say, oh, well, that means that I'm going to have to do something with you. Is that it?
Well, it could be. It could be.
Yeah.
So I'm not getting a lot of comments directly on the posts, and it may be also part of that. Maybe the way they're written. I don't know. So maybe you bring up a good point that maybe my blog could be more inviting comments. That certainly is something to think about, but it's truly more informative, so I don't really look for comments on them.
And frankly, I got to tell you, in my experience, I don't get an overwhelming number of comments on my blog, but over the years, obviously, I've been surprised with some of the people who've read it over the years, so I suppose that same situation applies to you. How much time do you spend on this?
I probably spend a minimum of 2 hours a week. It's just working out with my schedule. Saturday mornings are the best time for me to write, uninterrupted time, and so I try to get those done early on Saturday mornings, but probably 2 to 3 hours a week.
That's not an overly burdensome amount of time. And how do you choose your topics?
That's probably the hardest part, but I subscribe to a number of articles, Construction Claims Monthly, ENR, Engineering News Record. Also, the American Bar Association has a number of publications, and all of those, if they don't provide the particular topic, they certainly provide, you know, at least a somewhere to jump off from and find a tangent off of that to write about.
Okay. Of the blog postings you've written, which one do you feel most proud about or most satisfied about? Maybe we can post it as a link. You can send it to my email, and I can append it to the YouTube video.
Well, why don't I do that? And you know, honestly, I don't know that I have one that I'm most proud of. I have found that you have to let if I have a topic or an issue on my desk, it's best not to write about it immediately because, for example, the governmental regulators may look at your blog during an audit. And,
yeah.
So, but let me do this. Let me find my most popular one.
And you can track that by the amount of link backs and viewers, and that would be interesting to see which one it is, and then see what caused it.
Yeah.
Do you have any, how should I say, words of wisdom for anyone else who might be contemplating blogging or is doing it?
Sure, and this process has been rather informative. I mean, there are a lot of hosting services out there that will allow you to do it, but I think that's all kind of background. The most important thing is to keep it going, and that's, you know, there are Saturday mornings when I'm struggling trying to come up with what to write. But I find that if your blog becomes stale, once someone sees that you're no longer publishing consistently, I don't think they visit anymore. And once I think this is so important, as you've found, I'm sure, once you obtain or have a readership, if you're no longer providing them information that they find interesting, that readership is lost. And you know, like they say, a returning client is a lot easier to generate business from than a new client. So it's those returning readers that I want to keep.
That's right. Well, I appreciate this, and what it sounds like in your case, which I think is a case of most professional services, the blog is not going to be the magic bullet to get new clients immediately or anything like that, but it does supplement your other resources and supports the existing relationships you have, and also creates a point where your expertise becomes more apparent. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely, and I think that last part especially, because you know, as I often say, it's hard to swing a dead cat in any city and not hit 5 attorneys. So what am I doing to distinguish myself and my practice amongst others? And I think that they see the volume of work out there. Well, this guy's dealt with a whole lot of issues, knows something about them, and I think that provides some comfort or at least some interest in a potential client to at least pick up the phone and give me a call and say, hey, you seem like you know what you're talking about. Let's get together and, you know, see if we can do business.
Craig, do you have any final words or anything else you'd like to suggest or say?
One thing I've noticed about doing this is that there is a blogger community. I mean, certainly you and I had not met before we started reading each other's blogs, but I now have friends from, you know, the 2 coasts and north and south that are bloggers in the construction industry, and certainly with an emphasis in the legal side of it. And I just think that's so neat. I do not a ton of traveling, but the opportunity to go take depositions in Georgia. I've got someone I can call up and have a beer with because we've met through blogging, and I really do like that aspect of it.
Yes, and I've noticed that. I remember this was some years ago, because my blog's been going for about 7 or 8 years, and I went to an association meeting, the Society for Marketing Professional Services National Convention, and at the coffee break, I found myself talking with 2 of my fellow bloggers who have actually become good friends over the years, and shared a lot of information and leads. It's been a very interesting process. I really appreciate it. I want to congratulate you on winning the competition. It's quite a challenging competition to win, because we can't just let popular vote decide the winners, because people will, large organizations and corporations can really, you know, mass mail and communicate and get a lot of votes. So the judging part is an important part of it, and obviously the judges cross-section liked your blog the best this year, so that was great for you. I really appreciate this opportunity.
And thank you. I mean, I really appreciate the opportunity, that you're putting out the competition at all, but also I can tell that you had to put a lot of work in this to find judges that are willing to sit down and read any number of blogs, and certainly it's flattering to be recognized, and I do appreciate it, so thank you.
Thank you. So I'm going to post this on my website, and obviously my blog and the newsletter, and of course it's a YouTube thing, so you can use it as you wish yourself. And thank you also for helping with you through the technical issues as we went through on this. Thanks.
No problem. All right. Have a good day.